Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day whenever you do get around to watching this. So, whenever you just so happen to come across it, it could be in the morning, it could be a little bit later on today, it could be a couple of days from now. But I really do appreciate you taking the time out to click on it to see what I was talking about. Just in case y'all have not seen this shirt or you forgot about it, this is one of my shirts that I purchased either last year or the year before last. I think it was the year before last. But one of my many black power to the people shirts. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this recap review. So, the episode started out with Issa being at a farmer's market and Lawrence rolled up on her, and you can tell that there's some anticipation growing, trying to figure out what's going on. Well, he ended up getting that job in San Francisco, which I already knew was going to happen. So that was not a shocker at all for me. I don't know about nobody else, but that wasn't a shocker for me. Everything had been going exceptionally well, so I expected nothing less than that to happen. So, y'all, meanwhile, Molly is at the house with her man, Andy, and well, no, they ain't even at the house yet, y'all. I'm skipping ahead. Like, it's just so much. It's a lot that was going on this episode. She looks as though she is at, like, a high school reunion or something. Like, I don't know if it's a high school reunion or when she graduated from law school, but I don't know if it's a black law school or, like, I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I don't know. I did look down a couple of times, but when I looked up, when they kept talking, all I saw was black faces. I saw a lot of black people. All I saw was melanated people outside of Andy. And one of the people rolled up on her, and, everybody was having a good time and wanted to know if she, wanted to pull up, or basically was like, look, we going to this bar or we going somewhere after we leave here. Y'all can pull up and drop in if you want to. So to me, it kind of came off like old boy was looking at her like, well, it was kind of for us, meaning us black people. But I mean, I guess he can come too. Because like I said, if I'm not mistaken, everybody in that room was black. So y'all let me know, where was she? What was this function about? Anyway, you can tell that Andy ain't feeling it. He already told her that he ain't up to it. But if she wanted to go, she can go or whatever. Y'all, something's going down, and I don't know why. Tiffany has apparently, like, set it off and just left. She did up and left, ain't let nobody know nothing outside of the fact of, I need a minute, I'ma go. And it's kind of like she made it seem like she needed a break, but she was gonna be back, but she never resurfaced. So everybody looking like, okay, what's going on, y'all? The husband is, like, going insane. Issa was already there. Kelly was already there. Kelly is going all the way through. Andy and Molly were getting into it before this happened. And Molly, got home and, she had a good time. And he was just looking like, yeah, I guess. She was like, did you have a great time? And he was just like, yeah, I mean, I guess. And they literally got into it, and he ain't here for nothing. And all while they're trying to talk, her phone is blowing up. And she keeps, like, ignoring the phone call. It's Kelly calling back to back to back to back. And so it gets to the point, she was like, Kelly, what do you want? And so then that's when they flash forward, and they actually show the husband frantically trying to find his wife. Don't nobody know what's going on. She last checked in at like 10:15. I don't know if it was AM or PM, but anyway, whenever she last checked in, it's been a while. She was supposed to come back home and she didn't. And so calling around places, they've even gone so far as to call the police. I don't think it's been long enough for them to even consider it to be a missing person. So they've told them that they have to wait. Just wait it out and see where it goes. So Kelly is, like, really deep in her feelings, like, really, really bad. Kelly is everything, y'all. I can't. I can't do it, but everybody's trying to locate her, and Molly was the last one to get there. And so the first person she sees before she could even turn the corner is Issa. So that was awkward. You saw how I left off the last time. It was very awkward. Y'all, I'm trying to make sure my alarm doesn't disturb anything because I'm really trying to get this out before I go to work. I feel like I'm going to be tried at work and then I'm not going to want to get on here and it's going to disturb my spirit. Even though I'm really not trying to speak that into existence, but I kind of know where today is going to go. So I'm kind of preparing myself mentally. And I don't want that energy to be on my videos, on my channel at all. I don't want to bring that on here. So that's why I'm trying to go ahead and get this out of the way. But I just turned this alarm off. The one that's on here, it'll go off, but I'll be able to just move it or whatever. So yeah, I'm sorry about that, y'all. Anyway, you can tell that Molly and Issa are still in a bad place. And it's just to the point where it's like they can't even come together to find a friend. And I'm just like, that is just ridiculous. Like, come on now. Like, you could tell how her husband is like distraught at this point. Like, he is just like, I know she was going through it. I know she's in her feelings. I know and I understand everything she had said to me out of her own mouth. And that's why I was willing to, just accept the fact that she needed to leave and get her a moment to have a breather, to get away from the baby and all this other stuff. Because it's like she's in her feelings because they weren't able to execute their plan to just, still be in their honeymoon phase and all this other stuff. And it's like, okay, I get that. But the baby's here. You got to do what you got to do. A lot of people's plans have been derailed because a baby had to come into the picture. It just is what it is. Y'all married. I feel like y'all will be able to do what y'all need to do. That's what my thought process was. And I understand all sides of it. Y'all didn't get to, travel and do all the stuff y'all want to do. Cool, whatever. I get it. But the baby's here. You got to do what you got to do. It just is what it is. So she's dealing with postpartum depression, I'm sure. And, just thinking of the plans that have been, deferred for the moment. And so she's in her feelings really, really deep. And they have kind of gone on a wild goose chase trying to figure out where Tiffany has gone. They ended up going to this movie theater, I think, or someplace. And they're asking people, have they seen her, showing her picture? And it got to a point where Kelly was like, they serve alcohol here. And at first, I don't know why my mind went there. I was like, Kelly, ain't no time for this. Like, we know how she gets down. Like, but y'all need to understand, this heifer has not had a drop of alcohol, and it's a whole Saturday out here. That's major for her. But so I was like, girl, ain't nobody got time for you to be over here being excited because these people selling alcohol. But the point is, that heifer like alcohol. Like, she lives for alcohol. And they like have cheap alcohol at that. So they were selling margaritas and all this other stuff. They went in there and asked the people, have they seen her? And they said, yeah, we saw her. She got pretty toe up. And we called the lift. And I saw her when she got into the lift. So we know she got into the lift safely, but we don't know where she went. So then the husband gonna say, well, I did have a charge on my card. Kelly done went off. She was like, what's wrong with you? That's information we could have used earlier, like, which is true. And I was just like, how do you leave that out? Even Kelly, I'm talking about Kelly was reading down. Kelly is tired. Kelly's tired of her spirit. So after all of that dawned on the husband and they, received that new information about, the lift, that gave them the idea of, maybe she didn't want the party to stop. Maybe she went to another place to get more to drink, because I think them people cut her off. I think that's what happened. They cut her off at the place that they were currently at. And so she was like, well, I'm gonna get my fix somewhere else. Y'all, she got in the lift and went to the Mexican restaurant. They were trying to figure out which Mexican restaurant, because Issa was on it. Y'all don't understand. Issa be knowing. Y'all, people be thinking Issa ain't nothing and she just mooching and all this other stuff. She pays close attention to stuff. So apparently she wanted to go to this place. She wanted to go to Mexico, and she had to work and all this other stuff. So Tiffany was in her feelings. So to somewhat remedy the situation at that time, back in the day, Issa ended up dragging them to like 5 different I'm trying to think of the right word, y'all. It was the same exact restaurant, the same chain of Mexican restaurant, and they were just drinking, and that's what they did. So in her mind, she was like, I think that's where she went. And so they're looking like, it's 5 of them. Which one do you think she went to? So she ended up asking the husband how much was the lift for. Excuse me, asked how much was the lift for, and he was like, it was $6 or something. And she was like, man, she had the one that's like up the street, that's like less than 2 miles away. And so they ended up saying like, well, how far is that one away? They ended up looking it up. It was like 1 point something miles away. She was like, see, I know what I'm talking about. And then the time of day it was, and at the rate it was at, it's got to be $6. So that for it to be $6, it has to be that location. So they ended up going to that location. The person they talked to was trifling and didn't care about, like, he literally was like, I'm just here so I can get this check. I don't know if that person was here or not. I zone out all the time. I'm just here to get this check. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. So they were just like, look, do you have video footage? Do you have cameras we can watch? And at first they tried to act like they didn't want to let them watch it, but they ended up kind of strong arming him and was like, what you gonna do is let us see these tapes. And the tapes were played. They ended up seeing her, and they were trying to get him to zoom in. They were like, we ain't got no zoom in function. Like, the people started going off. But anyway, they saw her getting on a bus, and they were like, what's she doing getting on a bus? Where could she be going? So they looking like, okay, for her to even get on a bus, she must still be in this area somewhere. He has said this whole time that she checked in at 10:15. I don't know if that was AM, PM. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. But anyway, she checked in at 10:15 or whatever, but he hasn't heard from her since, and she won't answer the phone and all this other stuff. So they're frantically calling around different places trying to figure out where she is, whether it's a hotel or not. And, you know, because of course there are restaurants and hotels and all that stuff all in that area. They get to the point where they locate her. I don't know what in the world Kelly was doing and how she was figuring this out. I guess she was calling I think that what she was doing was calling various hotels and telling them or asking, is this person by this name staying there or whatever. Found out that she was staying in the Sheraton. Soon as she found that out, the bus was passing literally by the Sheraton. So she was like, oh no, we're passing by right now. So it's an emergency. Like, it is an emergency or whatever. But, you know, the bus driver looking at them like, I don't stop right here. We already passed that bus stop, and I only stop at the designated stops that I'm supposed to stop at. So they're looking like, okay, it's about to be a stop light right here. Like, the light is right here and it's red. Why can't you just let us off? This man is looking like, I don't make a designated stop until it's time for me to stop, and the next one is a few blocks up. Man, tell me why. Kelly looked down and she saw a button that you could see as plain as day that it's the type of button that you can press and it is going to open the door. That man saw her look at that button. He was like, don't you dare. Don't you touch that button. She was like, hey, what you gonna do if I do touch the button? She politely hit that button and they all got off the bus. Coincidentally, there was a police officer directly across the street in traffic with him. And he called him over there and tried to tell him what was going on. So they minding their business going up the street. And keep in mind, while Kelly was on the phone, some random guy was like, just looking at her and like kept on bothering her. Was like, psst, psst. You know, I feel like you're my inner black woman. And she was like, if you don't leave me alone, can't you see I'm on the phone? And like, he got mad because of her reaction. And ever since then, he been in his feelings. So him and like some other random people who were all not black got off the bus along with the actual black bus driver. And the black bus driver said it all to me. I said, that's them. They over here disrupting. Da, da, da. Like, he was over here trying to tell on them because she pushed the button and all this other stuff. And so she was like, leave us alone. We already going where we need to go, whatever. Y'all, it got to the point where it was really about to really escalate really, really bad. Like, Kelly tried to be good. Then old boy who tried to roll up and say what he said to her, talking about you're my inner black woman, he gonna try to say that she was harassing him or trying him or whatever. Oh Lord, why you say that? It got so bad that the police officers looked like they was about to do something. My heart was like, oh no, we not finna do this on this show. Please don't do this, Issa. That man... Molly or somebody was like, really, is this what you want to do in the racial climate that we're in or whatever they said? That man looked at them and was like, Cause she said something, or oh, so what you gonna do? You gonna look at us like that, and you gonna try to roll up on us and say something to us, but you ain't gonna say nothing to them. You know, the people who are obviously not black. That man looked at both of them, was like, I ain't in it. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with this. He said, not me. That man said it all. That man said, not me. Everybody go home. Everybody go mind your business. Y'all saw Kelly and them try to walk off again. Man, a fight almost broke out. I said, somebody please do something. It was bad. So anyway, I liked how Issa was on the bus with the husband trying to give him, you know, encouragement. And it looked like Molly, like, was like, dang, she really out here, you know, sounding like a grown up. And she didn't even look like the one who could even give any advice. I was just like, girl, what is, I don't know. And in my mind, I'm like, are you mad because she has found the words that she needs to use in order to say that are needed in this moment? Because he really feels hopeless. He really feels like he didn't do all he could do as a husband. And he was just like, I do all of this for her. And I know how she feels. And like, he was like going all the way through. And Issa was like really there. So anyway, y'all, they end up going to the room that she's supposed to be in. As soon as they got on that hall, y'all, I don't know why my mind went to, oh my gosh, this heifer done lost her mind. She just sat up here and just found a random dude and was sleeping with him too. I don't know. My mind just went there. I don't know why. It was so random, like right when he was walking to the door. But that wasn't the case. Opened the door. She had obviously just taken a shower and all of this. And so she was like, I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to do. And all of that or whatever. And, you know, they having a moment. Like, everybody is just like, I was like, oh my gosh, no. Like, everybody's tired. Like, everybody's going all the way through. Oh my gosh, y'all. So, yeah. They ended up showing some beautiful murals and things that are on buildings. And they had a building that had Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gianna Bryant. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. But it had a building with her and him on it. And then they had like this basketball court or some ground that had very, very bright, vibrant Nipsey Hussle mural on it. It was amazing. I don't know who these people are, but they are amazing artists. I don't even know if Issa put them at the end of the credits or in the credits or whatever, but yeah, that's amazing. Whoever they are, shout out to them because that was amazing artwork. So Molly and Andrew are now back at home and Molly wants to talk and you could tell Andrew ain't here for it. He is just looking like, look, I don't think we're on the same page anymore. And, you know, she already could tell it's going down a road that she don't want to go down. And so she starts saying, oh, well, you know, I can go to counseling. We can go to counseling. We can go to therapy together. And like, she really starts going hard in the paint for it. And he like stops her in the middle of while she's talking and was like, you know, what are you fighting for? Because she really was like, well, you know, it's okay. I'll meet up with your brother. Like, whatever. He just looking at her like, girl, we ain't been on the same page in a while. I've been feeling this way for a while. This didn't just start when everything went sideways with my brother and all of this other stuff with you and Issa. Like, I ain't felt, like, he literally feels like no matter what I do, if it doesn't revolve around you and your time frame, then it's not going to work. Because, like, when they got home, like, you could tell he's been fed up anyway. So when they got home, he was gonna, you know, watch Finding LaToya, some kind of reunion special or something. They were gonna watch that together. So she was like, oh no, babe, I'm tired. Let's watch it after I get up. And he was like, well, I just won't tell you what happened. So she was like, no, you're not gonna watch it without me. And he was like, yep, of course. So she was like, what that's supposed to mean? So that's what started the argument and whatever you want to say it was, because he was basically telling the truth, which is if it's not on your time, it ain't finna happen. And he done got sick and tired of it. And so she really was over here trying to fight hard in the paint. And he was just like, look, is this what you really want? And like, she like teared up and all that. So I am inclined to believe they ain't even together no more. But I don't know. They didn't show anything else about their relationship in this episode, which y'all know is the finale for this season. So Issa is at home and Lawrence comes to the door. Greet each other, and you know, I'm in my mind, I'm kind of thinking like, oh, is he about to leave? Oh, okay, girl lies. I was right. I was right. So I was confused, first of all, right? They keep, whenever they do the playback, letting us know what happened before the episode that's about to air, one of the little scenes said that, it showed where he was saying that he and Condola had a talk and everything's good. So I'm like, okay, I must have looked down when that part happened, but okay, so that means ain't nothing going on, and they, ended on decent terms now, and I guess she got the closure she needed when she talked to him. Okay, cool. Lies, this heifer dropped by and politely told him that she is pregnant, and I already knew, and I'm tired in my spirit. I'm so tired. I'm tired. I knew that heifer was pregnant. I knew it. But anyway, he said that, I thought we were careful. Like, how did this happen? I thought we were careful. And she was like, we were careful, but, things happen. And he was like, are you sure it's mine? And so she was like, yes, I'm sure it's mine, yours, or whatever. And oh, Lord, I cannot. I was so done. She said, I'm keeping the baby. I wasn't ready when I was with my ex-husband. I've always wanted kids. It's not that I didn't want kids. I just wasn't ready for them. But I'm keeping this one. If you want to have some sort of a involvement with the child, however little or however much you want, that's fine with me. But if you don't, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my gosh, no, what are we not gonna do with this? Like, he was just like, this is just the worst timing. Like, I don't understand. Like, I got a lot going on. Lord, he done told Issa is tired in her spirit. You hear me? Issa is done. She's like, when did this even happen? Like, what you mean? And so, of course, he said that, it was before they got back together and all this other stuff. And oh, Lord, Issa is tired in her spirit, man. She was like, how are we going to work? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is going to happen? Where do we go from here? Are you going to be with her now? And he was like, no, I still want to be with you. Lord, Issa tired. Issa is tired in her spirit. And I'm like, dang, life is finally going decent for her. And here we go. Well, I guess we're going to have to find out next season what happens as far as that is concerned, whether or not she's really going to, think it over and just stay with him, or if she's going to, be completely done with him. Because as of right now, it seems as though she's trying to think it over and see where she wants to go from here. Well, we all of a sudden, the scene that they showed us before, because in my mind, I thought that the scene that they kept showing where Issa was talking to somebody, it was actually her talking to Molly. I thought that it was her either approaching Lawrence or Nathan and letting them know that she wants to be with one or both of them. Well, really one of them. That's what I'm trying to say. But I was trying to figure out who it was going to be. Well, I was all the way wrong on that one, and it was Molly. Molly actually womaned up and called Issa, wanted to meet up. It seems as though the tragedies in their lives are what's going to bring them back together. So I guess they're going to be friends again. And I guess we're going to see what happens next time. But that was the end of the episode. And it's crazy because they ended up meeting at the Ethiopian restaurant that Issa ended up leaving from, that she was going to go to that night when she was minding her business and Molly wanted to just do what she was doing. And it's funny that it ended that way. I felt like that was a very pivotal moment, and that was needed for them to do, especially at that place, because Molly was trying to be trifling and just, I'm better than you. I'm not gonna, acknowledge your presence, even though I saw you first and all this other stuff. But she actually reached out to her and they had a moment. You can tell that even though we couldn't hear what was being said, that Molly was talking and I guess revealing what was going on in her life. And yeah, they look like they're going to start bonding again over the tragedies that have happened in their lives in recent time. It's crazy. Y'all, I just want to add that the little wind down thing that they did at the end, I didn't watch it, but when I heard that it was on, I looked at it to see what Issa's hair was going to look like. It is funny because it's a style that I plan on doing, but not as tightly coiled as hers is. It's going to be like a bang, but it's literally going to be the same thing except looser, really much looser curls or whatever, and not that color. But yeah, y'all know I'm a hair person. I can't. I can't just see stuff and like, oh, but it was cute though. It was cute. But anyway, y'all, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I'm about to get ready and go to work. I hope y'all have a good one and be safe out there.